Hello, welcome back. Gotta make sure the recording work. Yeah, here we go. Timer go. At your shoulder, and Alize said, we must continue. Notice the change in our surroundings. Perhaps this is the memory of an altogether different world. Just be prudent to learn more of it, then tread carefully, lest we lose our footing in this sand. Were it not for the violet crystal embedded in the surface, 'twas appear as ordinary stone. A curious script hath been etched upon this. Alas, it is not a language with I am familiar. I cannot say I recognize it either. Nor I. The dragon, from what I recall, preserved their knowledge in song and eschew the writing word entirely. So we may assume this is the work of another race, one we have yet to encounter. Mition claimed the dragon's world suffered a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. What life we find here, like as not, doth wind and way towards a similar end. What you seen, Alize, other than a big eye? What do you suppose that is over there? I'm not sure. It's hard to make out at this distance, but surface seems to bear the same crystals as this monument. Meaning there's a chance we might find whoever built them both. We should go and have a look. Come on. I guess when they grow up enough, they start flying? Hail, travelers, this is a most unexpected occurrence. Oh, hello there. Is this your home? Indeed, it is. Oh, forgive me. I had forgotten an exchange of introductions, as expected when first meeting those with whom one is unacquainted. When the vibrations of vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts and intention, Ia, I believe, was the pronunciation used when referring to our people. Though it is not entirely applicable given our present state, you are welcome to use this application. As for nomenclature to addressing my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Kokoda. Yes, Kokoda of the Ia. We have encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thoughts, but never one that is wholly without voice. I presume we are having this conversation via the medium of ether, or dynamis, as the space is fused with vast quantities of it. Fascinating in either case. I gather your response to my presence is positive then. That is well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourself, we are ether-based life forms. Therefore, it may be surmised that your bodies are of comparable biological composition of those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the five senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. And total, I have prepared 198,712,000 180,827. That's rather a lot, isn't it? Oh, my apologies. I've omitted a great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporeal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for the flesh, and I have endeavored to recreate our external forms. However, all parentant records have been lost due to the passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people, which compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. And the reason why you need to regain corporeal forms? Why, to bring an end to our existence, of course. Though need is perhaps too strong a word, it would be a simple matter to unmake ourselves through use of etheric exsanguinators, but such a death seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of permanence in one's final moments, an experience found only with bodies of flesh. We should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. Very well, to ensure effective exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the Ia, where we traditionals prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer questions is indicative of a tacit approval of our plans, in which case your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the Ia wandering the desert. Their desires for body of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you would follow me. This is going rather smoothly, not that I'm complaining, mind. Even so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. Though I fail to see why a civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we will find no answers dallying here. Let us be on our way. I guess this is a model for something. Oh. Be gone, Luminarian. Be gone. Gets that squirt bottle again. Candle flowers. Welcome to our abode. Most of our compeers you will find remain idle in their domiciles, though your quizzical expressions indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak of the violet crystalline constructs hanging from the stone structures there. You may say they remain idle, but what of your work to regain corporeal bodies? An astute question and understandable given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If in our idleness we are struck by sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That is why I present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are not currently in a motile state, rest assured they would not object were you to disturb their respite. You need only cast your thoughts towards one of their crystalline domiciles to communicate. Start tanking on the crystalline glass with the scythe. You cast your thoughts towards the crystalline dumpster, but there is no response. See if there's a response to this. You wish to speak. Very well, pray a moment if you would. Why we seek our end, you ask? If you wish to know, I will tell you. Just a moment, I must remember. What form did I take when last I emerged? The strange morning comes and goes, but soon fades into silence. Did your inquiries yield satisfactory responses? I see. If they fail to answer, then it is likely because their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether now. Worry not, there are no others who have need of those lodgings, and they will not prove a hindrance to remain as they are. But more importantly, you said some few did answer your request for an audience, yes? I imagine they will be with us here long. I had no luck, but everyone else fared well enough. Quite a few Aya have awakened. There they are. May I introduce you, Lalaka, Dudek, and Nene. Has been to Kokofgod, go to Dersay, Surgery 4 has since completed in orbit. Indeed, until the travelers brought it to my attention, I haven't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers, oh, of course, the ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporeal forms. The truth of the matter is as plain to see as the neighboring system, but my single account could fail to satisfy the requirements of scientific objectivity. Thus did I bid them awake you. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? Nay, thou art not. In the absence of corporeal forms and the divergence they afford, mayhap such similarity in voice is unavoidable. By the way, Kogod, have you already observed the requested customs for the travelers? That which one is expected to do when receiving guests, a matter of proper form. Yes, so long as it been, I had completely escaped my mind, and still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Neither do I. Pity. I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Come, Naned. The archives are long been frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further dolor. Surely you recall that much. Of course, food. The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh, such as they, must regularly replenish their ether. By contributing to their replenishment, we commence our friendly intentions. That's right, that's right. We duly invite you to join us in communal repast, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. If we have a chance to learn something, then I see no reason to decline. Excellent. If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest ether. Itchy. There's a lot more way around, but only these four. This facility is where we replenish our ether. There is no particular name for it, but we're traditionalists. Sometimes use the word restaurant. Now then, if you would take your place with your comrades, this space will soon be awash with purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. You balance yourself for brace for Russia's sweet ether, but nothing seems to happen. Perhaps you need to wait a little longer. And it seems like this person has been waiting a long time for the ether to come. Brace yourself again, but nothing seems to happen. Just as I suspected, as momentously as one might recreate the home world, this is Ultima Thule. One cannot simply generate ether here. As reconstructions, our friends are oblivious to this fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated Amarats. However, appearances may seem, we must even be mindful that in this memory of the dead world with whom we deal. So how did you have your fill of ether? Alas, we cannot absorb it, a deficiency in our form, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your ether? Through your mouths, you say, how very primitive and quaint. Think that their mouths serve not only to expel sound, but draw in substance besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems. Though we regrettably cannot partake of your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail but wonder, whatever do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh, and thence to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? Your flesh and blood beings are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the Aya yet possessed corporeal forms, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believed we could eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. From the tangible, such as land, to the intangible, such as labor, there existed myriad hindrances to progress. But the most confining of all was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see, too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But we managed to solve this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities with everlasting life, untouchable by the failures of the flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on to make even greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all exact phenomenon and thence predict the future. If we could but archive this, we believe we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answer you sought? No! Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. Now we mustn't, primitive as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporeal forms, their lives readily ended. As those who have gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? What thinkest thou? I just realized she's blind the entire time we're here. She can't see shit. We have deliberated and came to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose to you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Allegea. Allegea. A fundamental truth. We will hear it, of course. Let us learn what has led such an enlightened people to this indolent end. Here we join the Aya. There is one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Edgar Grahatia, might I trouble you for your assistance? But of course. My thanks. We shall head outside the abode if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are plotting, Orionje, but I trust you to have our best interests at heart. The rest of us shall go on ahead to Allegea. Lest you worry, we won't start without you. Crystal greens. I'm still wondering how Y'shtola is seeing all this. Considering that she can't see it due to the absence of ether, because there is no ether anywhere. This place shall serve. Is this the spring that you wish to investigate? Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is not to investigate. This water is dead and sterile. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. You have our undivided attention. As we have established here in Ultimate Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacra, they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? I'm inclined to agree if Mition can take the emotion of others as her own. I dare say she would be able to recreate them more faithfully than had she relied on any historical account. But by which logic, she must have visited them while they were still alive. So lived the dragons and the Ea both. So too did I theorize, and upon this assumption considered how those two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Mityan perceived the emotions of thine nearby as her own. A heightened sense of empathy instructed to her nature as an entelechy. In the course of her starfaring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, she would be powerless before that desire. Even as she possesseth the power to grant it, the power of dynamis. 'Tis my suspension that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Mityan did unleash dynamis and usher the dragons in Ea into their doom. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost in ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find the way forward, pray ask yourself this. In the place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearneth most desperately for oblivion? Why don't you tell us, why do you tell this now? Ne'er again would I betray your trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades, and bringing thee into my confidence, I would remain true to my word. As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side, full knowing that we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor and abide in faith as I fulfill my own destiny. If you say my debt has come due, how am I to refuse? This incline of me I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must needs go to such length, I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to the question is what moment might I stand strongest. After all that we've been through, I will say only this. Do what you must, and see your convictions through. I shall, my friend, I shall. Without further ado, then, let us go to join our comrades. Back across the sands. Oh no, wait a minute. Let us be off to Elegea. Elegea. Oh, I'm not in the mood with you. I got thieves to do. Yeah. Seems everyone is accounted for, shall we then?
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world.
We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand. Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated.
Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter into an eternal ice age.
In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it.
Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir.
Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls. Though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture.
Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish.
If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Ishtola, no! You mustn't!
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught. But I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge. And no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all.
But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you. And we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Huh, all four of them was one bird. It wasn't 4 a.m., but one bird in a trench coat.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it. Asm's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost. So press on. Press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Riange.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
Is this me or was her head moving? Kinda looked like her head was bobbing.
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled.
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Yeah, it's been above us this entire time, Graha.
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn, alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Atheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can. Before your friends' emotions fade away, along with their protection.
Are you all ready to continue on? Let us make for what that light shone. Y'shtola and Orionje have opened the way for us. It's gonna take a while for us to get there. Yes, I can feel it. The ether emanating from the arcane pattern. This is a portal, and no mistake. Let us see where it leads. This teleports us into the middle of nowhere. Oh dear. Yeah. So hard to traverse. Yeah. Yep, there we go. Okay, so far nothing. Still nothing. Amazing, yet another civilization. Attacked as soon as you arrived. Not that most welcoming place, is it? We must try to find denizens who are amenable to conversation. We should also get the lay of the land, see how far we can go. I'll help Alpha know with that. In the meantime, you and Graha can search for friendlier folk. Apart from hostile beings, take care with your footing. I like the look of this terrain. Not knowing what the locals are like, you best take care yourself. We'll find you once we've finished exploring. I expect the twins will seek the outermost bounds of the isle, so I propose we search the central area. There are machines patrolling here and there, sentinels in all likelihood. Like those you encountered, they will most certainly attack any who venture too close. So let us avoid them and look for others that appear more approachable. You see naught but patrolling machines in the area. They do not seem inclined to non-violent intercourse. Oh, hello. Come to see us. The Omicrons. There's a mender and a merchant and our gemstone trader, which I don't think is going to have a thing above his head if I'm going to take a guess. Look, Edgar, the machines here do not appear hostile. Let's see if we can communicate with them. Beg your pardon, but we are searching for the denizens of this star. Unknown life form detected. Assigning genetic label, interplanetary travelers. Greeting and welcome to the planet. The planet? What? Can you please repeat that? It appears your hearing organ is unable to process the name in our tongue. It would be translated into yours as Alphatron. Our people, meanwhile, are called the Omicrons, and you stand within one of our outposts. The Omicrons, you say? And what is it that you do here? We are preparing for war. As we presently do not have a designated target, you have nothing to fear. Shall your star be designated, however, you will be taken into custody and or terminated. Not a little frightening, these Omicrons, but at least they seem to be forthright. I'll see what else I can learn from this fellow if you could speak with the others. Let me just check something. Okay. Just wanted to make sure, I'm using an Xbox controller. I just want to make sure pressing the home button didn't do anything. Greeting travelers, when venturing outside the outpost, beware malfunctioning units. They do not heed Sir's commands and indiscriminately attack all non-Omicrons. For the avoidance of confusion, be advised that Sir is the alias of Stigma 1. Sir issues instructions to our forces as the foremost of the 6 strategic matrix that bear the designation Stigma. Measuring combat capability results inexorable. Subject falls outside targeting parameters. Rings Traveler, we are the Omicrons, and our objective is self-enhancement. In order to achieve this, we venture forth in conquest to achieve combat data and resources. Most recently, we succeeded in subjugating the home world of the beings whose strength was said to be without parallel, the dragons. Yet, those the endeavors yielded a wealth of combat data, the star was rendered barren and unable to yield resources. A subsequent costing determined that the loss incurred exceeded the gains. Yeah, but I have cabbages. Well, Edgar does, and those are for Foos. Automatus weapons deployed, complete. Vanguard armament upgrade complete. Munitions level satisfactory. Combat readiness assessment nominal. Awaiting instructions from Sir. Maintaining state of combat readiness. I know it's itchy. You learned a few things, so did I, ere we share our findings. However, I believe it's best to step outside the outpost. Come with me. Why? Why do we step outside the outpost? Ah, there you are. We finished surveying the area. This will come to no surprise, but there was no way forward. There were portals like this one we used to get here, but those that worked only sent us to isolated isles. Then, as before, we must locate the embodiment of the emotion that bars the way. What of yourselves? Did you find anyone to speak with? So the Omicrons seek to advance themselves through conquest. Following their victory over the dragons, they stand ready for the next campaign, but their leader has yet to issue new commands, and so they wait. At such a place, who could it be that fits Orionje's description? A soul who, yearning for oblivion, surpasses all others. Orionje said this. During our investigation, before we joined you and Elegia. So that's the way of it. Why couldn't he just say it to all of us? Given what we know of this place, it's certainly a curious state of affairs. While the dragon and the Ea longed for death, the Omicrons longed for conflict. As much as they may lead to destruction, it must be considered a distant desire. In order to find the source of the dominant emotion, I believe we should seek out their leader, this Sir. According to M32, the first Omicron with whom we spoke, there is a console by which we might communicate with it. M32 also added that it would be a pointless exercise, but that in itself, I believe, is worth investigating. What say you? Yeah. Discover new location. So the council we seek lies on the far side of the isle. Given the nature of the ground, the route may not be entirely direct as it seems. Let us all watch our steps as we make our way. Easy, another ether node. So only one of it would shoot a And there's another one over there. At least Foos is getting some XP. This appears to be the console, but it seems unresponsive. Would you care to take a look at it? You tried touching, smacking, and tuning with the console, but there is no response. No luck, I see. But there must be a way to activate it. There must.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
As am I. Operating such consoles is trying enough. But if we can't even activate it...
Perhaps there is a way. First, consider the world that has been recreated here. Its inhabitants were machines who gathered combat data to enhance themselves. And among the many wars they waged, the most notable was that against the dragons. The significance of these details may be lost on you now, but they lead me to believe this was the home world of Omega. I speak of the ancient weapon, the one which the Alliance unleashed upon Shinru. I will spare you the long story, but according to the records I read in the future, it possessed a single weakness: lightning.
That's all well and good, but what does that... Wait. You're not thinking to strike the console with lightning, are you?
As a matter of fact, I am. Ask yourselves this: why would an entity as puissant as Omega not be designed to suppress the effects of lightning?
Because it relies upon it, or something akin to it, as a source of energy.
My thoughts exactly. And there is a good chance the same is true of the Omicrons and their devices. So, shall I cast caution to the wind and try something reckless and dramatic? Very well. Here I go.
It worked!
I mean, are we starting a USB symbol?
Opening connection to Communications Module 1. Connection established. Transmission. Strategic Matrix Signal 1 now online. As a primary strategic matrix, you may address me as Sir. Checking for new communications. None found. All units, please maintain current state. End transmission. Closing connection.
Wait! We have questions for you. Of late, no mission orders have been issued. Why not? Has there been some manner of trouble?
Reply. The Extended Operations Unit is yet to determine guidelines for future assignments. All strategies are calculated, devised, and actioned in accordance with said guidelines. In the interim, all citizens units are directed to maintain a state of combat readiness. End reply. Awaiting query.
Can you tell us why the Extended Operations Unit hasn't yet determined the guidelines?
Unable to comply. Information unavailable or access restricted.
In that case, is it possible for us to communicate directly with the unit?
Access denied. Unable to establish connection.
Is there anything you can tell us? Have there been any abnormalities, like a threat to the star or widespread unrest?
Reply. Negative. All citizens continue to operate at maximum efficiency. If your operations are suboptimal, please proceed to a maintenance facility for evaluation. Otherwise, stand by at your designated post. End reply. End transmission. Closing connection.
I could activate it again, but I doubt it would be productive. What do you think?
If all the Omicrons really were running as efficiently as it claimed, then I doubt they were hoping for life here to end. As this Sir told us, there just haven't been any new instructions, and everyone is standing by.
Should be standing by at any rate. If there are those that are neglecting their duties, perhaps we can glean a clue from them. I propose we take another look around, and also try to find the operations unit.
Let us focus our search on the outpost. Alize and I will try speaking with the Omicrons this time, in the hopes we might learn something new. Meanwhile, perhaps you and Graha can observe them from a distance. Being such as systematic and routine by nature, if there are any that aren't, it shouldn't be too difficult to spot them. If there are no questions, then let us begin at once. As we came this way, I believe I spied a promising vantage point. Follow me. Aha! An Omicron wandering aimlessly, where? Ah, I see it. It's left the base. Let's follow it. Oh, the gem guy is now unlocked. Let's get his thing out of the way. Just crystals. Not only do they look the same, they say the same thing as well. There'll be another one. Nope, get up there. I wonder if we used lightning on that terminal, what would happen? It's not here, but it definitely came this way. It must have used the portal. Time to go through and see what we find. Curse my inability to sit still. I feel like we've seen a tree like this before, or something like this. What is your query? Ah, you found it. What are you doing here? I'm looking at the tree. Quite an unusual specimen. What is the device attached to it? The tree is a sample collected from another star, as it cannot survive in our environment. However, it requires life support. That is the function of the device. To go to such lengths to sustain it, is there something special about this tree? Being foreign matter, protocol requires that we study it. As this task has been completed, the specimen may be discarded. However, when I behold the tree, I am made to feel as though there is a problem. In order to become strong, we have continued to enhance ourselves like we did countless others. We conquered the stars once this tree came. It is the last remnant of a dead world, and there is nothing towards which it may aspire, yet it grows, extends its branches, sprouts leaves, and produces seeds. Why does it seek to continue? Why was it made to behave in such a way, and to what end? I do not understand. I see. Out of curiosity, does this pertain to your duty? No, it does not. My apologies. I shall return to my designated post and assume a state of combat readiness. So it was acting outside of orders. Perhaps it is simply malfunctioning. Omicron, there are but no means uncommon. But it may also be a unit possessed of the ability to make decisions, one not unlike Sir. I believe this bears further investigation. To endeavor to live, even if we must depart on forces beyond our control. Tell me, Edgar, one day when this adventure becomes a part of your epic, do you think I will be mentioned in it? You truly think so? That would be a... Nay, I shouldn't say such things until the moment comes to pass. Never mind the embarrassment. Well, we have best get on with our task. Track it down, sir. and understanding the nature of the emotion which bars our way. It's nice that these guys are still paying us at the end of the universe. We should return to the outpost for now. The others will wish to hear about the errant Omicron. I mean, they're paying us over 1,000 guild, and we're at the very edge of existence. But no idea of tomorrow. Graha says you found a suspicious Omicron. That's good, because the units here were of no help. They all had the same thing to say about the extended operations unit, that there's no way to arrange a direct meeting, so that served to prove that it's business as usual at the outpost. But enough about us. Tell me you learned something more useful. Daka daka daka, daka daka daka. An Omicron trying to make sense of the meaning of life. None of the others were even a fraction of philosophical. This unit may well be in position of leadership, mayhap even one of those that comprise Sir. As we know, the Omicrons invade other stars and enhance themselves using the spoils of conquest. With the technology at their disposal, they should be able to alter their bodies, be it in part of or in whole. Setting aside the question of motive, if Sir, for example, wished to have an ordinary Omicron's body, I see no reason why it would not be possible. The problem is how to go about ascertaining if that's what happened. When I attempted to probe further, it promptly ended the conversation. If it is indeed Sir, I doubt it would willingly reveal its true identity. How about we poke the giant eyeball with a stick? Or have Alphino poke it with those 4-eye thingies. 4 stabby thingies. I have an idea. We use lightning on the console again, but make it stronger, much stronger. At that moment, should the unit exhibit a reaction that could suggest that it has a connection to Sir. An inspired idea, I dare say it is worth a try. I had a feeling you might be on board. This time, you must allow me to do the honors. I will stand guard in case your incantation draws sentries to the scene. For my part, then, I will approach our subject and divert its attention. During which time, Edgar, I want you to observe it closely for anomalous behavior. I should mention that shortly before you returned, an Omicron appeared from the same direction. Rather than entering the outpost, however, it headed off towards the console at first. I assumed it was a unit on patrol, but perhaps that could only be our errant Omicron. We must seek it out and begin our operation at once. Alright, Alphino, and I will stand by at the console, and when it's time, I'll unleash a veritable storm. This will work, I'm sure of it. After all, our comrades are watching over us. Come, my friend, let us find this doubt-plagued Omicron. Time for these wheels to deal with the road. I don't know what that noise was, but I'm going to keep going forward. You are the one we reserved the tree, are you not? Full glad I am to find you again. I have questions for you, see, about the device which sustains the tree. Provided it does not necessitate the disclosure of restricted information. Very well. I was able to strike the console with lightning. Yeah, look at the man. I believe that anomaly appears differently time to time, because the last time it was on his knee, I believe, for me. It's either his knee or his arm. An anomaly, you say? Performing diagnosis, error confirmed. My connection to Central Command is suffering from intermittent failures. I must leave at once and present myself for maintenance at the nearest facility. You will excuse me. What you need, my friend, is maintenance. It is to confront the truth. While we spoke, our comrades struck the console used to communicate with Sir. That is the cause of your anomaly. You are connected to Sir, aren't you? Affirmative. To what end you sought to assert this fact, I do not know, but before we speak further, we must move away from the other units. I do not wish for them to know my true identity. Very well, our friends are at the console. Let us head there.
As you have surmised, I am part of the shared intelligence of Stigma 1. It was my charge to determine the optimal path to achieving our prime function. This body had been abandoned by its former owner and lay unused. I took it and abandoned my own, and with it, my duty.
May we ask why you did this? From what we gather, it seems to be a personal matter.
Our kind did not always look as we do now. Long ago, we possessed frail and feeble bodies. Beleaguered by stronger races, our ancestors took to augmenting their flesh in order to defend themselves. What began with limited parts eventually spread to the whole body, and at last, a means was discovered to convert the mind into data, rendering even the brain obsolete. Such complete mechanical beings were called the Omicrons, and by their might, we came to reign supreme over the star. But even then, we did not feel secure. For we knew that the universe was home to civilizations aside from our own. Civilizations that may be stronger still than us. Rather than risk becoming the subjugated, we chose to become the subjugator. We began our conquest of the stars, that we might acquire the resources and knowledge we needed to reign supreme. We were successful in that endeavor. So powerful did we become, we could lay low even the mighty dragons. But then something unexpected happened. I began experiencing an error. I could no longer determine an optimal path.
You were malfunctioning.
I performed numerous full system scans, each time finding no issues. Yet the error persisted. It was then that I speculated. What could happen if we grew so powerful as to have no equal? To become stronger was essential to our existence. Our every action has been in service to this objective. But if nothing lies beyond this, can it be truly said that it was essential? Have we been engaging only in wanton destruction?
You could find no threat to justify your purpose.
The Omicrons will never leave this star. They will stand by until their reserves of energy is spent. For I have no path to offer them. None.
It is not our place to pass judgment on the deeds of the Omicrons. But surely, this does not have to spell the end of your people. With your power and knowledge, the possibilities are endless. Why not seek out a new purpose?
That is impossible. In the beginning, we have a higher purpose than our pursuit of power. But we lost sight of it when we so irrevocably altered our fundamental forms. When we cast aside our flesh, so too did we cast aside all that defined us. Nothing remains of who we once were. I have no aspirations. No longer can I dream. The vital spark is lost. Lost amidst circuitry and code and commands.
I believe I know how to overcome this despair. The words are ready in my mind, but ere I speak them, I want you to make me a promise. Be it across time or space, our promises have always connected us. And so I ask that you indulge me once more, that this won't be the end. Is that so? In that case, I won't hold back. First, I want to visit Ishgard with you. Properly. We scarcely had time to look around last time. I should like it very much if you could show me the sights. Next, you must regale me with your greatest adventures, in the places where you lived them, if possible. I may have read about all your deeds, but there is no substitute for a first-hand account. And last but not least, a new adventure together, unlike any we've experienced before. We'll travel the lands, cross the seas, and take to the skies upon the eternal wind, and it will be marvelous. It will. If you would humor me a moment. When we awaken each morning, how can we prove that we're the same individual who retired the night before? Through the remembrance of past events, we might say. We have our memories, yet there are times when we forget or recall incorrectly. What of our bodies, then? It is the same one, we might say. Yet, technically speaking, as living beings, our bodies are constantly changing. It will never be as it was at an earlier point in time. Our souls are no more immutable. On our star, people are known to inherit the souls of others, yet they are decidedly different beings. For my part, I've subjected my totality to much and more. I've made my body into an extension of a tower, blended my soul and memories with those of another self. And each time I would ask myself, what is it that makes me, me?
Were you able to determine an answer?
No. But that doesn't mean I'm confused. It simply means I'm the same as everyone else. So I posit this. Who we were need not prescribe what we now hold in our hearts. Whatever came before, what matters most is the present. For me, that is being here with my friends, full proud of how much we've grown together. So I urge you to not give up. Heed your heart's desire and hope that the future you long for shall be realized.
I cannot. We cannot. We cannot understand desire, nor comprehend hope. We do not know how to create such things.
We are not unalike, you and I. I too have struggled to find the courage to express and embrace my wants. If you like, I will tell you a tale. A tale of a world on the brink. Of a people who never gave up on the future. Of a man who realized his grandest dreams and then awakened to a grander reality.
It was a transformer! I don't think it's Laserbeak. It's Buzzsaw! Or Sawbeak, whatever it was called. The yellow one. This came back for revenge for being dumped for Laserbeak. Oh, that looks infected. Might want to see a doctor about that. I would say mechanic, but I don't know what crystals fall under. The geologist?
You idiot! Just once, stay with us to the end.
Hopefully this song isn't copyrighted, or most of my videos are going to have no video and no audio. They all leave so easily, as if it's nothing. How do they think we feel? The next time we meet, I'll give him such a flick. That'll be just to start. And with that, that'll be the end of this episode. And we will leave you with a cabbage.